Hey YouTube, I was wanting to do a quick video today to talk about something that is getting ready to happen this weekend for us, and that is for someone to shoot their first match. What does it take to get into? Whether it be 3-gun, USPSA, long range precision, you name it. There's plenty of different divisions and different disciplines in the shooting world, but specifically what we're going to talk about today, only because it's going to be simple and it is what is happening this weekend, is a USPSA style match. So what do you need to get into it? What gear, what equipment, how do you even get started? So that's kind of what we're going to get talking about today. My son, who's 10, is going to be shooting his first ever match. He has helped me RO matches. He has been to multiple matches. He has never shot a match on his own. So this weekend, we're going to be changing that. He's going to actually be shooting a pistol match, and he'll actually be shooting it with a pistol caliber carbine. So a 9mm rifle AR. This is an F1 Firearms in 9mm. So he's going to be shooting it with that. It is still considered a pistol match, even though he's shooting it with a rifle. But yeah, so he's excited. 10 years old, going to be shooting that. I also, at the same time, have one of my old best friends from growing up. He is going to be shooting his first match ever as well. And he's going to be shooting it with a pistol. I'll be shooting this match with a pistol. So it's going to be fun and exciting. So what we were going to do today is just talk about what's it take to get started. So the first thing, I would always recommend signing up on Practice Score and seeing what matches are in your area. And you can kind of cater what you are going to buy for equipment based on what matches are going to be close to you, because those are obviously going to be the easiest ones for you to get started out on. Fortunate for where we're at, we're actually able to shoot multiple matches of many disciplines within just 30 minutes from our house. So we're very fortunate in that. This weekend, the match we are shooting, like I said, it's a USPSA styled match. It's technically not part of the USPSA yet. We are trying to get that ball rolling and get started in USPSA. But for now, we're just kind of basing things off of that style and the rule set. So that being said, one of the most important things, get signed up on practicescore.com. I'll put a link for that in the comments so you guys know what that website is. Create an account. From there, you can search like your zip code or your city, and you can see what matches are available. You can also look at, generally most of the time, you can look at what rules and divisions are going to be in those matches. That's going to be a very important part of this, because before you get your gear together, you need to know what division you want to shoot. Or if you already have gear, you kind of need to know what division that's going to put you in. Something like a frame mount red dot, where when the slide moves, the red dot stays, or something like a compensator, are going to automatically put you in open in most matches. So what I would do, what I would recommend is, if you already have the gear, see what you fall into and just go shoot with what you have. If you don't have the gear and you're looking into getting into 3-gun, then it is a very open world for you. You can do whatever you want. There's so many options. So kind of, maybe go to a match, watch some people, watch people on, YouTube, on Instagram, things like that. Kind of see what gear you're interested in. There's so much out there. I mean, there's just so many things. So that being said, safety is a big part. Understand the rules, understand the safety. You're going to need a set of eyes and ears. That's going to be one of the first things you're going to want to buy if you don't already have. So I have my Hunter's Gold HD glasses here. We have multiple options with glasses. Anything that is like ballistic, impact rated, it could be as cheap as going to the box store down the road and buying whatever safety glasses they sell. Or you can kind of, go a step further and buy something specialty like these. That's up to you. I would recommend just getting started out. Buy something, whatever you can afford, and go from there. Whatever feels good on your face, fits you well, something that covers your eyes well to where nothing gets up in there. And then ears, there's so many options of ears. I have multiple different ones. Depending on the match that I shoot is depending on what I bring with me. I have these Walkers. These are Bluetooth electronic in-ear ears. I also have these that I had form fitted to my ears. Sometimes I'll wear these. They fit really well. They were molded, injection molded using my ear, so they fit awesome. Once these things are in, you don't hear very well. So that is why I do like the electronics if I'm ROing and shooting, which a lot of times I am. RO is a range officer. I like the electronics for that. These work a little better as far as muting the sound around you, be that good or bad, that's your call. Over the ears, cheap, simple, most people have them already. Those are a good option as well. I do find that during some rifle shooting, in especially shotgun shooting for me, they get pushed out of the way, which makes them ineffective. So for me, I do prefer the in-ears. A match like we're shooting this weekend, being pistol only, I'll probably bring a set of over-the-ears with me. I might switch between them throughout the day. If it's really cold out, a lot of times I wear the over-the-ears to start out with, keep my ears warm. And then from there, if it warms up, sun comes out, a lot of times I switch over to the in-ears just because they're more comfortable for me. A lot of that is preference. Choose what you want to do there. Next, we'll go simple here, is belt. So my son, shooting his first match, his belt is going to be very simple for this match. He has an inner belt, which there's so many different brands, so many different types of belts, and a lot of it is preference, a lot of it's availability. All I can say is find what you like, find what fits you. If you are fortunate enough to have a store around you that carries anything like this, go try them on, see what you like. This is essentially just a Velcro inner belt. The outer belt will Velcro to that. This has like the hook and loop. This has like the stiffer part of the Velcro. My son's just gonna be running a couple of mag pouch holsters here, just for some of his Min 2 mags, his Glock style mags that fit his 9mm AR here. So because he's not running an actual pistol for this match, he doesn't need a holster, he doesn't need anything except for these mag pouches and some of these mags. So super simple getting started with him. For me, I'm shooting an open pistol. I'll be shooting this one here tomorrow, or technically Sunday. So I have a lot of options when it comes to a pistol like this, but you are also limited with a pistol like this. Again, this is a frame mount red dot. That does make it a little harder to find a holster for. A lot of times you have to have one custom made if you're wanting this type of holster. This one fits perfectly. It actually retentions grips right here in the trigger guard. So I really like that because it really gives a solid like click feel when it snaps into place. You know it's in there. It's stout. I mean, you could hold this thing by that. These guns are clear and safe. I'll just point that out. But again, when it's in the holster, hold it upside down, shake it, doesn't go anywhere. That's a good sign. There's also what I would call like a full open holster or a race holster. This is a double alpha Race Master. So this type of holster, what it does is it actually clips around the trigger guard and locks into place. Got to get it to lock, there we go. So it covers your trigger, which is all that it covers. So the rest of your gun is left open. It locks in, so when this is in there, it's in there. It does lock in. I mean, again, you could shake this thing upside down, doesn't go anywhere. It just has one release. Flip that, the gun comes right out. So for USPSA and for IPSC, these are a really good option. These are a very quick draw, easy race holster is what they're considered. I myself don't personally like these for 3-gun because if you're running and you've got your rifle slung and your sling were to flip this switch right here, there's not much holding that pistol in there. You pop right out of there, you go home for the day. And that's, you know, if you're lucky, nothing bad happens. But again, great options for USPSA or IPSC. I wouldn't recommend them for 3-gun. I would recommend something more like this. This one's custom molded to fit that gun. It covers the barrel, covers the slide. It has a lot more surface area holding this gun in place. If you're running, your rifle slung, it's smacking against this thing, you know, it's a lot less likely for this gun to pop out in that scenario. So I personally like these I have the same style holster, just a different brand, for the DVC steel that I have. This thing goes in, locks into place, covers most of the gun, just leaves the optic, the charge handle, and the grip out for the draw. It does lock into place. This one I really like. It has an adjustable retention with this knob right here, so you can actually adjust on how much retention is there. You can loosen it if you're starting with your pistol and you know that that's going to be right off the bat, you're going to draw the gun. You can tighten it if you know you're on a stage that you're going to be doing a lot of running, or especially if you're going to be slinging your rifle or something. So this is a really good option. Again, so for a match like this with one gun, you need a holster, you need some mag pouches. I'm going to be running my belt. Got the inner belt and the outer belt. I do have a ratchet system on here. To start out with, just run a simple belt, see what you like, make sure you like your belt. This is a ratchet system. I don't remember who I even bought this from. I'd have to find out who and put a link in the description. But these allow you to really kind of get the belt to fit you tightly. If you're doing some running, if you're on a stage like a jungle run, you're gonna be running a lot through the woods. This will be able to really tighten on you, make sure it's not going anywhere, make sure you can run, because when these belts are loaded down, they are heavy. So you really need this thing to really grip to your body. So for this match, I have 3 Weber Tactical mag pouches, which fit my pistol mags, which are over there out of my reach. And then I have 2, don't even know the brand of these ones. I've had these things for a while. Just 2 spare ones. I more than likely won't use these unless we have a really heavy stage with a lot of targets and a lot of shots. Generally speaking, my 3 mag pouches and then the one that I start with get me by for 90% of the stages. Lots of options there. So to keep it simple, we have a holster, which my holster snaps into this style belt. This is a G-Code RTI. So it allows me to be able to take the holster on and off. I can switch between my different holsters. I can put this on another belt and have multiple belt setups, which I do depending on whether I'm shooting 3-gun or shooting USPSA style matches. So there are so many options. I mean, I could talk for hours on all these options. I'm just trying to give you a simple rundown. So first thing for getting into competition shooting, you need a gun, you're gonna need eyes and ears, you're gonna need a belt with a holster and mag pouches. If you decide to shoot something like the PCC, then you could take the holster out of the equation. I would recommend a chamber flag for these matches. They do require for you to show your gun is clear, empty it after the stage. You'll flag it to show that there's nothing in the chamber and that it's safe. Generally, you'll have to also bag it. So that would be, instead of a holster, what you would be doing is getting something like a soft bag. Something like, I have this F1 Firearms soft bag, which we'll be using this weekend for my son. So when he's done shooting a stage, he'll chamber flag it, show that it's clear, show that it's safe. It goes straight in the bag. It doesn't come out of this bag until the next stage. So simple enough, easy. Now, getting a little more complicated, let's talk about 3-gun. If you're wanting to get into 3-gun, it is a lot of fun. It does have a lot more gear. So your belts are not only going to have a holster, mag pouches, you're going to have a rifle mag pouch on it. Now, whether you shoot TAC Ops, which is a division that has, well, you'll be hand loading a shotgun, you'll have a tube-fed shotgun, or you're shooting open where you have a mag-fed shotgun, like this VR80. So I just recently switched open, running a VR80. These mags are huge. I will have to pull it out and show here on the video, but these make a little bit harder to put it on a belt. So there's a lot of options what you can do for that. I'll try to put a couple options on a video, but what I have is I have a Safariland ELS, and I just had a piece of Kydex made that goes on my mag, and it just kind of slides into there and holds in place. May not be the best thing, it works well for me, but again, for 3-gun, you're gonna have a lot more gear. So you're gonna have to kind of look at what fits you. I would recommend looking, if you already have a tube-fed shotgun, go shoot some matches with what you have. If you're getting into this and you're a gun geek like me and you just like all the gear, open's a fun division. So that allows you to have mag-fed shotguns. It allows you to have an optic on every one of your guns, or even multiple optics if that's what you choose to do. Some people put 2 optics on a shotgun. Some people put 2 optics on a rifle. I do personally have 2 optics on my rifle. I have my Kahles K18i and my Kahles red dot offset to the side. That allows me to shoot paper up close, put this thing offset, see the paper up close, and then immediately transition into like longer range with my 1:8 low power variable optic, which is the K18i. It's a 1:8 scope. So lots of options once you get into open. It is fun. It allows you to run things like bags like this. This is a Coltac quick detach bag, which is super handy. Allows you to run bipods, sometimes tripods, depending on the match and the stages you're on. The possibilities are endless when it comes to open. So for me, I started out in TAC Ops, started out with a Benelli tube-fed shotgun, started out with an Iron Sights pistol. I started out with like a Springfield XDM, and I kind of shot that for a few years and decided that what the heck, I'm doing this for fun. I'm gonna go to open. It allows me to put everything that I have together and just shoot for fun. So, you know, you have bigger mags, a lot less limit to mag capacity. You have red dots on everything, which are just fun to shoot. If you haven't shot a red dot on a pistol, it's a blast. It allows you to have a shotgun like this mag-fed shotgun with a red dot on it. Again, just a lot of fun to shoot. A lot less loading. So, you know, instead of watching me fumble shells around, dropping half of them on the ground, trying to load a tube up, you know, I can throw a mag in this thing and be ready to go. So the mags for this do hold 19 rounds. They do have larger options as well. I personally like the 19s and then like the 10s. So lots of options. So I'm not going to try to make this video too long because there's just so much to get into when it comes to 3-gun. I wanted to just briefly talk about 3-gun. The primary focus for this is just going to be talking about getting started and shooting competitively, period. So what I would recommend to practice score, find matches around you. You can do it one of 2 ways. I personally went and watched a match first, which is something that I do recommend. Go watch a match. Figure out, you know, bring your eyes and ears. Figure out what division you think looks the most fun, what guns you have and how they would fit into those divisions. Ask lots of questions. You know, don't talk to the person that's getting ready to go shoot or the person that's on deck, but find someone that maybe is a few shooters away or shot a couple shooters ago, and just let them know, hey, I'm new to this, I'm looking to learn, want some information. You know, people will be friendly. They'll understand that we've all been there. We've all been, you know, to our first match. And so there's just a wealth of information and knowledge out there. Ask questions. Be willing to learn, willing to listen. Help reset. If you really want to get information from shooters, you know, get in there and be like, hey, I want to watch you guys shoot. You know, can I help reset and just kind of learn? And, you know, volunteering to help reset, that'll definitely get your foot in for getting some information. People will share a lot more when they see that you're willing to do a little work in that process. So again, go to your first match, bring your eyes and ears, be willing to learn, listen, and have fun. That's what this sport's all about, really. I mean, you're learning, you're training, you're having fun. Being safe, that's the biggest key to it. So I'll kind of get into I'll bring the camera here closer and get into a few of the specifics on these guns, some of the accessories that go with them, and obviously what divisions those would put you in. So we'll get started on that here in just a second. Let me get some of this table cleaned up.